How's it going? So this will be video one, and the reason why I'm doing this is I'd like to provide any kind of help or input that gets you farther down the road with your chief architect usage, because you can scan the internet and YouTube has a lot of videos, a lot of different ones, but I don't know, it just seems like I can't ever find what I needed to know, and so I've had to stumble through this, and it really took off when I joined Chief Experts Academy, which is Dan Bowman's project, and he helped remove a lot of odd things. That Chief's just odd. I come from an AutoCAD background, but I'm going to start right here. Let's just do it. I don't do intros and all that fancy video stuff, so I just start and then I just upload. So this is the Chief residential plan out of the box. When you open it up, it looks just like this. And for comparison, this, what I just opened now, is right here in this tab. So here's the Chief one, right? And you can see these are the different plan views that they've created. So if you want to work on any one of these, you can. With Dan's version, his plan view, I've been able to take and modify. I've broken it down a lot more granular to where I can work on just footings, just foundation, the architectural, just floor 0, 1, or 2, that kind of thing. And I can add different views as I go along. And I've done that only because I've found on this version, if I'm working on floor plan view dimension, let's say, or working plan view, that's where they start you at. I would have text architectural on, and then I'd go up to the next floor and I'd still see the same text. And so I broke everything out to where if you're on a certain floor, only text for that floor is present, and it's called text for the, whatever, text floor 1, text floor 2, whatever. But I'm going to go back and revisit this. So we're going to start like this. You just got Chief, and here you are, and you want to know what to do. Well, the first thing is, this is a Windows machine too, so you'll have different ways to locate things, but under preferences, everything you adjust here in preferences adjusts in the program. So it's like permanent from job to project to every time you open it. Whatever you change here is permanent in the application itself. You can change colors. You can modify where your files are stored. All kinds of neat stuff in here. Some of the things that you want to do, you want to look at your size of screen and figure out what size of icons you have or that you like. Excuse me. And this is 30 pixel size, but you can pick whatever you want. I'm trying to remember. All the experts will tell you what to make sure happens. The one thing I like is when you're jumping around and you open a new window, you want it to always go back to the same menu spot. Like if you're changing something in a wall and you change it, then you go to another wall and you open up its properties, it'll go back to the same area in the properties as you were in previously. And that's just super helpful. It's really quick. I'm just trying to figure out where that is. But I'm not going to waste any time because I want to get to the fun stuff. But you can find a lot of places online where they will tell you how to set these up, how to use drop down versus child tool or whatever. And you just pick what works for you and try them out. Maybe you like for me, for example, if I click the little arrow to the right of the icon, I see everything. So let's say I'm looking here, there's all my walls. However, if I click right on it, oh, you know what? This isn't set up that way. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if, let's go check this out. Yeah, see how it drops down? This is what I was talking about. So let's go see what that setting is, because now huh. See if I go here and I click on that. Well, so now it's doing it. That's weird. It didn't do it before. It's left it blank. So you get the tools over here, or you can get them this way. It's just user preference. So I'm going to get rid of this one here. This is Dan Bowman's template. It's way too cool. And you have to pay for it. So go buy it because it's worth it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to kind of see if you're, let's say you're just sketching a quick house and you just want to play with the software. Start with the outside walls on floor 1. See, here's floor 1. And go look at the wall types. And this one here is siding 6. And if you click the drop-down menu, these are all the different type of walls. So if you're in an area where you have brick, I think they have a brick 4 and a brick 6. Like Texas would be brick 4 because they use 3.5-inch 2x4s and brick. And where I'm at, we use 2x6 and siding. And then, excuse me, hang on a sec. All right. To tell what's going on here, we're going to hit define. And then you can see there's an exterior layer, which is the outside coming in. So you'd have your siding, your house wrap, and your sheathing. Then your main layer is your studs. And these say they're on 24 inches. That's not how we do business around here. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go, where does, oh, you know what? I know where that is. Yeah, spacing is not right. 16-inch. Okay, so you see what I did there? Hit that wrench. That's the default. So for some reason, the default plan that they send comes 2 feet on center. That's that optimized value engineering style. I can't stand that. Let's see. Go back in there for a minute. It didn't take. Okay. Double click that. You know what I want to do? I want to go, yeah, material. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, dude. Okay, I know what to do. Now we got to jump around. So as I said, the preferences under edit affected the whole program. Whenever you come into this little wrench, this affects just this plan. So anything you change in here is only to do with this plan. So when we save this plan, you know, if you actually set this up the way you like to do things, it would be good to save this plan as your template so that every time you open a new plan, you have all the settings set up exactly the way you like it. Okay, let's open up framing. Walls. Yep, 16. All right. So the other thing you want to do when you're in here is you want to go to floors and rooms and floor levels. So you want to start on the first floor and you want to look at some things here. So 109 1/8 is 9 foot 1 1/8, which is a 9-foot ceiling with 104 5/8 studs and then 4.5 inches worth of bottom and top plates. So if your area does 9 foot pretty much all the time, then it's already set up for you. Some people are going to go at 8 foot. So what you can do is click in there and hit -12. And I could have just actually tabbed to the next square instead of hitting enter. This is 8 foot 1 1/8. I don't really care for that because now Washington State has a whole different set of rules for where you can put your HVAC, and so they're wanting duct work, and so this buys me 12 inches of space. So I'm leaving it at 9 foot 1 1/8. The ceiling, I never really run into this unless I'm stick framing and it's a 1-story. Otherwise, if it's 2-story, the ceiling gets ignored, and whatever the floor system up there drives that. Excuse me. So this right here says there's a floor under here, and looks like they're using 11 7/8 I joist, 3/4 inch subfloor, and that's what that is. So we know that our ceiling's 9 feet, so let's go done. So what you do, the very first thing you do in Chief then is, once you've set up your parameters, start dragging a wall, and let's say your house is going to be like 40 feet wide and, I don't know, 30 feet deep or something. So you just kind of get close. And we'll start by making a box. Yeah, see, that's pretty small. So what you can do is say, well, we got room to make this. Let's go bigger. Let's go like this and like this. And we're just dragging stuff around, right? And then what you can do is highlight a wall and say, okay, we're going to go 38 feet deep this way. And we're going to go exactly, look at that. Somehow I hit 64 feet. We'll go 60 feet. Well, let me let you in on a little secret, though. You want all your dimensions to be over framing, and that means your foundation and your framing line up. So if you want 60 feet when it's sheeted, then your dimension over framing should be 59 foot 11, because you're pulling 1/2 inch off each end. So this should be 37 foot 11. And then you can just check your dimensions by hitting the auto dimension up there. And there you go. And I think there's a layer hider. Let's try that. Yeah, so see that tool? I just clicked right on there and we're good to go. So now, now we can put some interior walls in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an interior 6, fire 6. And the first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, come here, you. Go up here, go over here. So what I don't like out of the box is all these colors are the same. Man, the coffee's getting me. I like to see a difference between walls. Let's see what their interior 4 is. Well, I mean, some people might like this. I don't know. Interior 4. All right, so it's that color. All right. That's weird. So now if you notice up close, it's a really thick line. So let's turn the line weights off so we can see what's going on. And then it's also showing you the sheetrock and the framed wall. So the way to fix that is to scroll on down to walls and then just put on main layer only. And that gets rid of all the other. So now you're just looking at the framing so you can see if it lines up perfectly. And the other thing we're going to do, because it just kind of bugs me, is we're going to go into siding 6. Yeah, we're right there. So I'm going to define this. I don't like that gray. And it's solid. So if that gray was on top of something, you wouldn't see through it. So typically, I'm from Seattle, so this is kind of a Seattle thing. You go green. Okay. 50%. Okay. So see how you can see through it? Okay. Okay. So now my outside walls are green. And then my firewalls, let's go edit those. Where were they? Fire 6. Let's define that. I want this to kind of stand out. So they've got a red line going along the side where the sheetrock is going to be 5/8 type X. And I'm going to make the actual wall orange. And you know when you print these, right? You can, if you want to print to grayscale, you can. Some people go, oh, your plans are so colorful, they look like they were done with crayon. It's like, whatever, dude. So now, see all this long list of things you have to search through? Watch this. When you just click on an item, it just shows you the items that are related to that object. So I'm going to uncheck that for just a minute. Now, the 5/8 is on the wrong side, right? Like if I was going to make this a garage, it's on the wrong side. So you can right-click on there, and you can tell it to reverse layers. And then now you have it indicating the 5/8 on the inside. Not that it matters, because everybody knows that you fire rock the inside of the garage. Now, let's say that 18/6 is just not deep enough. Well, because it's not, right? So you highlight this front wall, and the break tool is this one down here. And when you hang your mouse over there, it says add break, and it's got number 3. So what you can do is when you highlight this wall, just press number 3, come over here, press here, and then click on this wall, and you can drag this wall out. Let's say that far. And this doesn't need to be fire rocked all the way down, so we can click on this wall, press 3, hit this. And there's a couple things we could do. Watch this. We could delete this, grab this wall, which is a normal outside wall, and this diamond, and just drag it down here. And now we have how you would do it. This is a typical outside wall. Here's your fire rated house to garage separation wall. And then we could put in some other walls of, I'm really not thinking this through real well. I'm just throwing stuff in here just to see. And then we can throw it on prescriptive or perspective overview. Now you see it's hardwood in your garage. Yeah. So the reason why it's doing that is because Chief thinks these are all rooms, but they're undefined. So you double click in one and it says unspecified. And as soon as you pick garage, there's all kinds of different configurations that are going to happen. And in the 3D, it's going to take out the molding and put in the concrete and all that good stuff. There was something I wanted to, oh yeah. So it was going to do the, oh, see, look at that. That's that new, man, look at that, how smooth that is. It was going to put in the name automatically. Like, let's say I called this, I don't know. Let's see what we got for options. Entry. Sure. See how it's got that check and it's going to want to show the room label. I don't really like how they do that. It's already in Chief font and all this other stuff. So I always delete that. Let's call this, I don't know, kitchen. And then we're going to go back and see what it's done. I could have unchecked that just to make it happen. Let's call this living. Uncheck. And you'll see here, when you're ready to do your plan, I'm going to show you something really cool. This will be laundry. I don't know. Sure. Poor layout. I'd get fired right away. So there's rooms that now are identified. And like that room has tile because a laundry room is defaulted in Chief to have tile. And so this is where you spend the first little bit of time. You get all your walls. Now this is here. Your temporary dimensions are right here. Letter T with this. And they're accurate over the outside wall to here. So you could click on this, click here, and then you could go and make this whatever you want, whatever size you want. I don't really care. What's important is get all your walls where you want them. Let's say you had a bathroom in this wall or in this room. And you have a tub. So what you need is the inside dimension. So you go to the dimension tool, you do inside, you drag across. Yeah, sure. Okay. And I want to go back to not showing all the stuff. I want main layers only. So what you want finished when you have sheetrock and you're measuring to sheetrock is 5 feet. So you need, right here, you need 61 inches. That's if you want to put a tub. So let's just go do that real quick. Let's just type tub. And we'll grab this. You know what? We'll grab this insert because it's kind of generic. See how that fits perfect? That's the size you need. That's something that if you're a framer or if you're in construction, you'll just know that's what you need. And then don't start putting in fixtures till you've got all your stuff moved, because if you try to push a wall into a fixture, the wall won't move. So, and another thing is, once you pick a fixture you like, if you're into like showing the 3D and convincing people of what it looks like, then sometimes it's best just to go ahead and search these libraries and then just drop them off to the side. Like say they wanted a corner tub or whatever. You know, wanted one of the. Say they wanted to see one of these. There you go. I don't know. So what you're doing is you're setting up things off the drawing that you can drop into the plan anytime and use or whatever. And that way you'll have your options ready to go. And then when you go to actually, you can build out different saved views to where you can have the farmhouse view, the whatever, urban chic, I don't know whatever. So anyways, we're going to get all the walls where we like them. And then once the walls are where you like them, then you start doing doors and windows and stuff. So the doors, pretty standard. Here's something cool. Let's say you had a door right here. Chief defaults a 2668, it looks like. Yep. Well, I push people to go for 3 foot. I just like 3.0 doors. So, because it's, if you're in a wheelchair or you got any kind of crutches or whatever. So while this door has been changed, you see how I did that? I double clicked it and I went in here and I just changed it to 36 inches. Once it's changed and it's still highlighted, you can come down here and you see this wrench with the plus. If you click on that, it now makes all the interior doors. That's the default size. So now, if I go around this project and I go, okay, yep, I'm going to need a door here. I'm going to need a door maybe here. Now, the outside doors are different than the inside doors. They're a totally different animal. Let's go look at those. So anytime that it detects that it's going from outside space to the inside space, there's its default exterior door. And then the inside, from going from inside to inside, these happen to default with whatever this 2-panel style is, and a lever handle. So like nobody in their garage is going to do this. Typically it's a fire rated self-closing metal door that looks like a big old slab. And if you wanted to be architecturally cool, you would make it look like this. So you would just you would find one of these style 2-panel whatever, and then you would make it fire rated and 3 foot and all that stuff. So, and just to let you know, we are in this view. We are in the standard view, which is cool. I mean, it works really well. It's pretty fast. But if ever you had questions, you're like, I can't understand why it's not doing it, jump over to Glass House, and then in the Glass House settings, crank this up to like 90. Yeah, like 90, 92 or whatever. And you'll be able to see through the model. So you'll be able to see if there's something. Sometimes there's like leftover artifacts. You'll draw something, you'll delete it, or you'll draw an invisible wall, like a room separator, and you won't remember that it's there, but for some reason you were not able to get a wall to attach to the wall, and you don't know why. And it's because you maybe put something there and it's not shown, it's unchecked, and it's fighting with you. And so that's frustrating. But the other one that's kind of let's look at some more of these. Vector view, that's the old style of computer modeling. You can tell it just looks, plain Jane. I'm going to skip over physically based. It's kind of cool. I don't know why. I don't know what clay is all about. Seems like it's using that real-time ray tracing when it does that granular stuff. Technical illustration is really good for elevations because you can turn shadows on and stuff, and it really looks sharp. Watercolor is, I'm not an artist, so I think it's lame, but somebody might find that cool. Line drawing is more almost hand-drawn. See how they go beyond the line. That old style kind of drawing on paper kind of CAD. Duotone. Never used this ever. This might be good, like maybe in marketing. Say you had a website and it was you were highlighting something in color, and then the rest of it was in black and white behind it. So you had all these other houses in black and white, and then you had this one in color. Maybe that would be something. I don't know. I'm not that artistic, but let's go look at physically based. This is supposed to be the most realistic. So let's just look at this for just a second. So that handle looks kind of real. The lighting sucks. I don't know. 100. I have no idea what I'm doing. I made it a little brighter. How about we adjust the sunlight? So the sunlight, use generic sun. Yeah, sure. Still not very good. So yeah, this takes some work. If you're either outside or inside, it anyways. Standard works. So there's that. So windows. Let's throw some windows in, and so you can do them from plan view, or here's another one. So let's just do this. Let's get a window and see what kind they default. So that looks like either a single or double hung. I don't know what. So let's double click it and find out. It doesn't say. Let's just call it a single hung. Actually, you know what? Let's do left sliding, and let's make it 48 by 48 by 48. Let's do that. And then we will make that the default window. You don't have to do this, but if you had, say, 6 or 7 of those, it's really useful to do that, because then you can knock them out real quick. You got 2 there, you got 1 there. Actually, I'm gonna change that one. I clicked way over there. I'm gonna call that a triple casement, and the center is fixed. And then side component side. Oh, so we're going to make this really wide. We're going to go 96. And then we're going to make these like 24. Hit bam. and we'll go look at it on the plan for a second. So we've got some windows here. Let's say this one needed to be centered in the room. There's a command down here, these two arrows pointing to each other. And I have a shortcut called CC. And how I did that was Tools, Toolbars and Hotkeys, go down to Hotkeys, and start typing the word center. There's center object, and it has the letter CC, so that's what's typed in there. You can put whatever you want in here. You could put CO for center object, but I don't like to move off of the key, so if I can just click the key twice, like trim, I do TT, and extend, I do XX. Center, I do CC. Point-to-point move, I do PP. So those are just some of the things I do. So I would click this, then either click this icon and come up here and see how it put this big thick dash line. That's the center of the room between the outside wall on the left and the inside wall on the right. And so you just click once. Now the window's exactly centered in that room. And this whole dimension here is weird. It doesn't make sense. Well, I guess it makes sense. It's 15.8. That's weird. It must be snapping to the nearest inch. That's nice. And then let's say this one, you want it centered in the amount of this wall. So you do center and then, whoops, cancel. I see how that line changed on me? This is the line I want. So now this window is centered in this wall because I hovered near here and it made that big thick line. And then we're going to do the same over here. Center, center. And this one I'm going to go center, center. Boom. All right, so there, we've just shown that. So I've kind of got you started here. I'm going to stop this video and then I'll start another one and we'll just have a library of quick little videos. So this is walls, windows, and doors. And yeah, this room's going to, you know what? It's bad that we're designing poorly. So I think on the next one, I'm going to, I'm actually going to show you how I can pick any picture of any kind of floor plan anywhere and we'll just draw it. How's that sound?